Hey, it's your boy 1995 here.
With your girl, 1998.
Yeah, or something, I don't know. When did this game actually come out? When I was 17, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to be playing the original XCOM UFO Defense tonight on Talking Simulator. I am Cameron.
My name's Corey.
And we'll be your hosts as we try to go back and look at, well, I mean, what did this game do right? Why was it so
Popular
Yeah.
and engaging and spawning a bunch of games. I haven't successfully played an XCOM game that was not made by Firaxis.
Well,
So,
this was made by Microprose in March 1994.
ooh, 94. So that's like the big year. That's when like Jurassic Park and all that Disney. Tons of stuff. Tons of stuff in 94.
It's 25 years old.
That happens. By the time I was working on Baldur's Gate, it had already been a decade. So
It's happening a lot more.
that time is passing.
Yeah.
Time continues to accumulate. It's like every year everyone does like that, haha,
Yeah.
2009 versus 2019 thing. And I'm like, wow, 2009 was not that long ago.
It,
Even though it was literally 10 years.
yeah, it's like, time passing, but every time someone says Happy New Year, it gets faster. Right? Like, it's...
Have you watched The Night is Long Walk On Girl? Did I make you do that yet?
No.
There's a scene where the characters are comparing watches. They're like, for us older people, time's just kind of flying by. It's like the characters have different time scales on their watches.
Oof.
Just to nail that in there. But anyways, XCOM.
Yeah, well, let's get into it. I think we should probably just get into it by... Or start talking about things by getting into the game.
Yeah.
So... All right, DOSBox, we put ourselves in
DOSBox
your
is
cumbersome
doing it.
hands.
Oh, tasty. Oh,
This intro slaps.
oh, thick boy. All his thick friends.
Foul mutons.
Warning. UFO detected.
Oh no. Ah!
You never get this shit. Just so you know.
What? It's in the intro. Do I get thick muscles?
Sure, they don't do anything.
Not when I could have a bullet. Haha! There's a lot of crotch on that man.
All right. Oh. Okay. First off, a bit of an anecdote. There was a bug in XCOM UFO Defense where there was actually no difficulty level 5. So if you clicked on the hardest difficulty level, it actually set the difficulty level to 1.
So people were like, I own it at Superhuman. I'm super good at this game.
Yeah, and Microprose, who did not diagnose this error, and nobody recognized that this error existed until much later, built XCOM Terror from the Deep as if people were beating Superhuman difficulty trivially.
Yeah.
So, Terror from the Deep just stood on your throat and fed you fist after fist after fist. And it was, yeah, not good. But, veteran, I guess? Okay. Now, XCOM was an extraordinarily granular game. It,
I I've always found the amount of information intimidating. I'm like, where do I start? What do I want?
Yeah, it absolutely is, because it doesn't make it helpful for you. But can I just go back and say that the aesthetic, like the mid-90s anime aesthetic of this game, is magnificent. There we go. Okay, so we control the geoscape by
Yes, the future is here.
iterating the globe. And we basically have two good options for where to put our first base. One is kind of in Central Eastern Europe,
Okay.
because you start off with a fairly small radar dish in your
Yeah.
base, and you want to be able to cover UFOs that are attacking your funding nations in the United Kingdom, Spain, France, Germany, Italy, Russia, and Egypt. And they together make up a very large block of your funding agent.
So it's good to keep them alive.
Yes. Your other option is to put it in the United States, who's your single largest funder. So the interesting thing is you see all of this neat different terrain.
Mm-hmm.
This will affect what kind of tile set loads when you fight a mission in that terrain.
Yes.
Naturally,
So good.
you would kind of expect that. It also affects the cost of building.
Oh.
Yeah. Which it doesn't tell you. But if you put it, I think if you put it in the mountains, your building costs just go way up. So, I don't know, maybe we should be on the Aegean.
Wanted to start a new Roman Empire?
Sure, let's where is it, Toronto? Where the Italian naval base is or was? Crete? Oh, that could be fun. Or Sicily, Malta. What about Crete though? That could be fun.
All right.
I guess this is
Get on
kind of
that
like
tiny
it.
sausage.
All right.
Do you have to zoom in?
Possibly.
Enhance. Enhance.
I guess we go with XCOM Europe.
Yep.
Now, on 5 seconds at a time, we have to do some stuff. First off, we need to build new base facilities. Large radar system. See, the problem with this is like it gives you the worst possible base layout.
Yeah.
Because when you have, as the game goes on, you will send out your interceptors, these little fighter ships, to attack UFOs as you detect them. The UFOs also have the ability to detect your interceptors. And if a UFO detects enough of your interceptors taking off and landing, they will be able to locate your base and attack you. And naturally enough, they gain ingress to your base through hangars and the access lift, because your base is secure underground. So you'll notice there are no choke points here.
Yeah, everything's just out there.
Yet you'll start off the mission surrounded and in quite dire circumstances. So usually when you start off your satellite bases, which you will do, you'll load like 2 hangars and then your access lift, and then like build up like that.
Yeah, choke
So that
'em.
you have several choke point rooms. Anywho, it's very difficult to defend this as it is. So I'm going to put in a large radar system, and then I think we need an alien containment as well.
So if you capture aliens?
Yes, because you can whoops into capturing aliens quite easily.
Okay.
Then I forget what we start running at capacity quite quickly. We want to start off with laser weapons. And again, this is billed as a strategy game, loosely,
Yes.
right? But it's very difficult to actually come up with a strategy for beating it, because a lot of what you do is reactive.
Yep. And events have a lot of effects. And some of those, and like, there's random events
Mm-hmm.
that just like wipe you out, basically.
Yep. Things can go badly quite quickly. Now, if I also remember, we can look at our list of soldiers, and we want to look for low bravery scores. And if we find anyone with a bravery of 20 or
Kill them.
lower, we fire them
There's our
because
man.
they are kind of liabilities. So Vladimir Shkarov has got to go, and Dwight Stevens.
Dwight. Jeez.
Dwight and
Vladimir.
Dwight and Vlad. We have looked at your personnel reports and determined that you are cowards. Oh, right. But first we have to remove them from the Sky Ranger. Rookies Skarov and Stevens report to personnel.
Damn. So many options. So many menus.
Yeah, the granularity of this game is extremely intimidating, and if I hadn't played it while my brain was still soft, I would
Yeah.
have no idea how to do this. Like, look at this. It only gives us... we don't want to overload our people with ammunition at all.
Because if they die, it's just sunk cost.
Well, and it also reduces their amount of like action points. If they're carrying around a lot of stuff, it becomes very hard for them to do things. So what I'm looking at here is probably like 6 soldiers carrying rifles, 2 with or heavy cannons, and they also have pistols for backup.
Right. You only got your 6 boys.
Yep. So we'll need to. I'm going to recruit a bunch others. I think we can get rid of the Stingray
It's
missiles
interesting
because
to me
they
that
don't.
this is the same menu.
Yeah, I think they got a lot of mileage out of a fairly small number of things, and there is some familiarity here, right? There is something to be said for this. So we want to recruit, I'm going to say 6 more soldiers
Oh, wow.
and 10 more scientists.
Oh, wow.
Then another avalanche launcher
Yeah.
and some avalanche missiles, because these things are actually, these things slap, and they're capable of damaging the UFOs that you will encounter early. Also, we need grenades.
Of the smoky type?
Yeah, because for the most part, our soldiers can't hit things, so grenades help. As do high explosives, actually. Electro flares are also handy.
Really?
Yeah, because sometimes you might have to go to a UFO at night. It's not recommended, but if you do, having the ability to throw light
Yeah.
is quite handy. And then stun rods. We'll get some stun rods, too. Just like cattle prods, basically.
Get that fresh alien.
Yep. Okay.
So we've gone through a millions of our funds.
Yes. And, let's... What are we running at? Living quarters. We'll need to build more living quarters. We'll need definitely more stores. Okay. Build facilities. Now this is making everything so much more complicated. There's only so many spaces that we can really...
Without digging.
Yeah. So, yeah, when you hire people, they get paid by the month, and there are ways to game that. But this level of granularity, or that particular level of granularity where you're moving people around
Yep.
month by month, never really appealed to me because I felt that it hit the verisimilitude and we can talk about what that actually means for a game like this. All right.
Boop, boop.
Well,
That's pretty nearby.
intercept. We'll send both of our interceptors out after it,
Oh.
because they're kind of wieners and not very good at things.
Poor babies. Wow.
Yep. Go to
Guess
last
that only
known.
took 5% of your fuel.
Oh, it's on the ground.
That's a second UFO. So yeah, looking at these things, there's so many things that I would expect a video game to do for me. I wouldn't be like, oh, I have to, once a UFO is detected, actually send specific ships out to track it down while it moves around. And then once it's on the ground, then I send another airship out with my dudes in it, and then I can actually play the game.
Yeah, but instead here, that is all things that... There's nothing implicit here. Everything has to be done kind of like explicitly and deliberately.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that can be enjoyable. But the intense level of granularity in this game is what's the word for it? A chrysotunity? We actually do have an English word for the intersection between crisis and opportunity. And I felt very clever when I remembered it.
Let's look this up.
Okay.
That might also be your headphones.
Could be. I really should have looked at who had high strength. High strength is very important for carrying these kinds of weapons. Well, everyone gets 2 grenades then.
Sweet.
Does anyone remember if anybody had particularly high strength? Yes, there were like 3 haircuts in the game. There's what is referred to in the future XCOM games as the blowout.
Yeah. Just all guile all the time.
Yeah, then there's the more restrained anime hair. And this hair. Then there's also women's hair, which is just tied back in a ponytail, I think.
Yeah. Or
Oh,
a bun or something.
Yeah. All right, well, I guess this is what we're going with. I will give you one of the autocannons, or one of the heavy cannons, excuse me.
Brutal. Grenades, yeah.
Actually, I'm going to take away their grenades because otherwise it will hammer their ability to carry anything, or to move.
But only for your heavy lifters.
Yes. Only having 12 shots, but we'll carry a pistol as a sidearm.
Do you have ammo for the pistol?
I've got extra ammo, but I don't think we'll really need it. Sure, let's go with this. How bad can things be? We're on the first mission. Ah!
So that little mud body there,
Yeah.
is that just like we've spotted something and this is like the ghosty shell?
No, that's an actual...
That's a live gray man?
That's a sectoid.
Yeah.
Normally what you would do here, I remember, is you would give the first person at the ramp a smoke grenade in their hand.
Yes.
So they can just and chuck it, and that will give you cover. But we don't have that option right now. So what we're going to do
is aim at boy.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I think he noticed.
Yeah, smoke nade on the ramp is the tried and true. All right, Jacqueline Revenu. Aimed shot. Normally you would want to kneel beforehand because that actually also increases your
Stability and accuracy.
Yep. That sectoid, when it turned around, when it spun
Had
around,
a big gun.
had a heavy plasma gun.
A
Welcome-
fun thing.
Welcome to your first game of XCOM. We're moving too far.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, and he also had a clear shot into the Sky Ranger. So,
I've had that happen.
yep.
Right through all my dudes.
Yep, right through. Pathing. The classic is you drop the ramp on the Sky Ranger, and the first thing you see is a sectoid commander who just turns around and fires into the open ramp with a blaster launcher,
Yep.
which is a top tier heavy weapon with a programmable flight path that fires big booms,
So mean.
very big booms. Okay, it'll be 39
So that's
to
time
prime and throw.
units.
We have 13.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Sectoid's getting something from the pantry.
yep.
So we at least know there's one enemy.
Yeah. I suspect with a this was a small UFO.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what the layout of these buildings is.
And you can't rotate the camera. Like, it's locked on this specific isometric view.
Correct.
Yeah.
I should have grenaded out beforehand.
So you hit the ladder up button to go up a floor with your aim?
Yes.
And your dude is throwing through a window?
Yes. I'm trying to get her to throw it up on the roof. But the game is not being terribly cooperative
Yes.
by telling us where we can and cannot throw. Because the Sky Ranger, our dropship, obscures game. Okay, it'll be 15 time units, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on. Well, luckily the grenade won't cook off until she's,
So,
dropped it.
yeah. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
But why?
Doesn't give you that much information. Her arms are tiny. Have you confirmed that she can throw at all? Did that go downstairs? Okay, no.
Apparently
it made
not.
It up. Whew! Would have been a perfect spot to throw it for your dudes.
Yeah, directly over their heads.
Just right in there in the middle.
Well, this is going to go poorly.
Oh, yeah. So it cycles you back up to the roof if you go down from the ground floor?
Yeah.
Are there basements?
No. I don't believe there are.
It's so tense.
It is.
Having to do all of this management.
I think it just automatically sets you to Overwatch.
Is Overwatch a thing?
It is.
Was that the grenade?
It was.
Okay. You hit a button that could have just been like, end me. Oh, there you go. There's that going off.
One down. We lost one.
You were like, 1v1 me, and Sectoid was like, yeah, I will.
Yeah, just dead. Who was that person? We'll never know.
What a beautiful party.
I always forget how little...
Move they have?
Yeah. How very, very gingerly the game wants you to take
Wow, you
things.
blew the roof off.
Yeah, it's, I don't think we'll be able to get up there now. These buildings are very fragile. There's still more of them.
Do you have to put all your mans back on the dropship after?
No, I think the mission just automatically ends.
Do you have to click a different mouse button to make them face a direction after you've moved them? Or is it just once they're out of the move, you can get them to look in a direction?
You can right-click in order to make them change facing.
Okay. Especially if, like, Overwatch is automatic, then that's hella important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. There's no one here who can file an insurance claim against us. We don't even know where the... Oh, there's the UFO. There it
Speaking
is.
of...
I guess we get to begin slowly advancing across this open expanse of terrain.
Yeah, at least the door's closed.
Hmm. Will it let us up on here? No, I don't believe it will.
So I guess we just gotta hope that no one's there. Hey!
Oh, hey, cool. Eventually, the aliens do start to panic. Everyone's everyone's psychology starts to fray a little bit after a while.
I'm assuming their units have the same kind of stat spread that yours do, like bravery and whatnot.
Yeah. So the sectoids will start to like worry if you kill enough of them, and then they.
Pathing. Also, that slow fall. That was beautiful. Like, any pathing would be better than what they're doing.
Yep.
I like how manly her chin is.
Hmm.
Thick.
I would follow such a soldier.
What a chin. How random does it feel like the UFO placement in this is? Because, like, in, like, Enemy Unknown or
It's.
whatever, you're like, let's do 2 little encounters, and then we're up at the front of the ship.
I actually quite prefer the way that UFO Defense handles its map generation, because UFO Defense will, this game, will generate the map, it will populate it with enemies, and then those enemies are active whether you know about them or not.
Yes.
Whereas in Enemy Unknown, they are encounters that you activate by moving into them.
Yep.
And they don't do anything unless you find them.
Yep. They don't exist unless they're off the edge of the screen.
So, whereas this game rewarded and necessitated exploring the map and trying to find flanks and tactical advantages, Enemy Unknown actively punished it by
Kind of making the maps linear.
yeah, if you went out and hunted around for aliens, then you might find them, basically.
Yeah.
And if you didn't go out looking for them, then they didn't exist,
Yes.
as far as the game was concerned. So I'm going to actually move this soldier down out of that window, because I think his line of sight is actually not very good through there.
And you've already got one on the roof covering the same zone.
Exactly. I suspect the last aliens are inside the UFO.
Yeah. Versus in these outbuildings. If you go through the UFO and there's still aliens, then you know they're in the buildings.
Mm-hmm. This is where the motion tracker is handy.
Oh, you can get like an alien style
Yeah,
blip
yeah.
dot.
You can get a bipper.
Boop.
So yeah, as someone in chat pointed out, beating
Nice move, idiot. Ow! Rip Jacqueline. There goes our fearless leader
yeah,
and her chin.
what the shit? All right, hands. All of you just watched that happen.
Yeah! Yeah, they did.
They're just like, oh, cool.
The sectoids moved 2 tiles out of like the spaceship and fired twice.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Oh, there they go again. Yes! Might be able to hit both of them. Oh,
Yeah, there's one with a rifle and one with a pistol.
the one with the pistol is owning.
Oh! Hey, we shot the one with the pistol in the back.
Yeah. The one that was actually doing something.
Alright, aim shots, no line of fire.
Yeah, those sandbags. Sectoids are short.
I forgot about that.
Oh. Oh.
Alright, used up all my bad RNG.
Certainly.
Alright, Hands. I need you to put a 20mm cannon shell directly between the eyes.
The misses in this game are a lot more drastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like 63% chance, and you're like, "Whoa."
Yeah. But overall, that was pretty good.
You only lost 2 units?
XCOM UFO Defense has very high casualties.
Yeah.
Rating, okay. But look at all this stuff. Look at all the artifacts we discovered. We recovered an entirely intact UFO.
Yeah.
Including its power source,
Now.
Illyrium, its nav computer, and its alloys. This is a hell of a way to start off. And we have 2 sergeants. That was exceptional. We have 2 people left.
Okay, let's remember what our strengths look like.
33, 26, 32, 33.
So it doesn't
So-
really matter.
Henri and Hans.
Have the best.
Mm-hmm.
Boris sucks.
Yep. Progress remains unknown. It should tell us how long things will take to arrive. I forget where you find out how long it takes for things to arrive.
Ye-
And I think our Sky Ranger is automatically returning to base. Yeah, returning to base.
Low fuel. Zoop.
Okay.
Oh, so there's like an okay and an okay that sets your time slower.
Yeah, which I like.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that part of it. I forgot how good this game is, how much it does right.
It's interesting to me that it's not a pause and play.
Yeah,
Like,
the
time is
real-time
passing.
element.
Yeah.
What did I want to look at? Right. I want to modify one of our interceptors
Okay.
to carry missiles.
Yes. Because you bought one of those missile launchers and a bunch of ammo.
Yeah, I also want to, because the cannons are worthless.
You want to get rid of them and sell them off?
Yeah. Like, Stingray missiles don't hit hard enough for the amount of risk that they require, and neither do your 20mm cannons.
But the avalanches are worth it.
Yeah, the avalanche missiles are quite long-ranged and hit quite hard, even if you can't carry very many of them.
Okay.
Because generally what happens is when you try to use a Stingray missile, your interceptor flies very slowly up to the UFO while getting shot with plasma cannons.
Just because the range is nothing.
Yeah.
And it's
mean-
like, I'm going to use my biggest gun. Just wait for me.
Yep. We could get a tank. They are expensive,
That's so much of what we currently have. That's a third of our remaining money.
but they do help a lot with lowering casualties. They never get better, right? So every kill they get is XP that's being taken from your
And
soldiers.
so we've already recruited soldiers and scientists, and we've stocked up on weapons and ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't replaced the people in our squad that died.
Mm-hmm. Although we did order 6 new soldiers
Yes,
because
I just
I
meant we
wanted.
haven't assigned them.
Mm-hmm. I guess we should get 2 more.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Yep. I mean, the tanks are there to tank, right? And I forget my build order in this, so I went with laser weapons right away, even though probably
You wanted like med packs?
maybe med packs or the motion trackers would be a better thing to sink our early research into. But I remember
Laser weapons are so cool.
Well, not only are they like powerful enough to basically replace your need for heavy weapons in the early game, they don't require ammunition. So they're very good in longer missions because they lower the amount of weight that your soldiers need to carry.
Yeah.
And most importantly, they require no exotic materials to build. So you can build them with stuff on hand. You don't need to spend your alien alloys to build them. But that also means when your engineers aren't working on building an Avenger or some other kind of alien technology,
Yeah.
you can just have them building heavy lasers.
Okay. And Dread Pirate Wesley points out the thing that I was going to say, where, like, the med packs don't matter if your soldiers die from one shot.
Yeah, exactly. Like, one of the sectoids was able to kill one of our soldiers with
a
a
pistol.
single plasma pistol shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
She was so brave.
she was. She had a kill. Yeah, you can arm the entire planet with heavy lasers.
Yeah, stuff.
All right.
I like that shady weapons dealer, man,
Yeah.
and his goons.
I like how he has cash on the underside of the lid of his briefcase too.
You gotta be efficient with your packing.
Yeah, I guess it's just like so tightly packed in there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's look at the soldiers that we've just acquired. 60 bravery on Bernard.
Strength 27, though.
Sigourney.
Ooh, Sigourney's got guns.
But bravery of 20, that's a challenge. I mean, lower bravery
Yeah.
becomes less of a liability.
Garbage. Lewis.
Yeah.
Garbage.
And
Henri.
Like it's a major liability in early missions.
So, yeah, Sigourney, Lois, Henri. Garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Lois and Henri are married?
Maybe.
Cowardly married couple.
Heavy laser is basically sleeper simulant.
Yes.
Yeah, the Guerin brothers. I mean, I suppose this is it. Like, did you wash out of Special Forces training? Did you train all day to be a Marine by jumping off a roof onto a trampoline and the recruiter wouldn't take your call again? Join XCOM!
But I mean, like, UFOs will kill the planet.
The single best mission in XCOM Enemy Unknown is called Ashes and Temples, and it was added in one of the expansion packs. And it is, it was added after you knock over the first alien base that you find.
Yeah.
As the alien counterattack. They attack XCOM headquarters and you have to defend it. And one of the things it gives you is XCOM security personnel, which are not XCOM soldiers. They're the people who are responsible for checking your badge and telling you to put, like, empty your pockets while you go through the metal detector. And they are basically the nerve security personnel from End of Evangelion who just get machine gunned and flamethrowered by the hundreds. And I love them all. I love every single one of them. Because they're just running around in, like, their jacket and their baseball cap, and they, like, found an assault rifle on the ground. Oh,
And they're trying and they're doing their best.
yeah, they're doing their best. They're doing their level best. You know, they're like, they washed out of mess school in the U.S. Navy and joined XCOM.
Oh.
Anyway, their best can work because they can still throw their grenade.
You know, one good soldier with shotgun and Overwatch is
They'll-
enough a lot of the time.
Yep. They're not going to take down a sectopod, but you know, they might just chip in enough. I think we might actually have to get rid of Yoko, Sigourney.
And the Guerins.
Yeah, Yoko, Sigourney, and the Guerins. Because you just can't afford to have soldiers panic at this stage when you have so few of them.
Mm-hmm. And that's why committing to a tank is hard. Like, that's so many resources, and if there's high turnover.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Excellent progress on our lasers. Well, if that
Excellent.
wasn't hard, humanity.
Oh, so many options.
What we want to do after we get laser rifles, I think.
Pistols?
Well, we have to go, like, the research tree is laser weapons, then pistols, then rifles, then heavy lasers, and then laser heavy weapon platforms, I want to
Yeah.
say.
That makes sense.
But after that, what I actually want to research is it plasma rifles that lets you build plasma cannons?
Okay.
Which you can arm your interceptors with.
UFO 3!
UFO 3. Small ground. Uh-oh, it's nighttime. This could be dangerous. We have 8 soldiers. 2 heavy autocannons.
Yeah.
Or 2 heavy cannon. We'll need electro flares. The nice thing about electro flares is that you can pick them up and throw them again.
Do you need any stun rods?
That's being awfully optimistic. Unfortunately, we can use stun rods, but any alien that we capture with a stun rod will automatically die because we don't have an alien enclosure yet. It's still under construction.
He's kind of pants recommends saving, but
Oh, right!
yeah, I was gonna ask like how we could do breaks if the game doesn't pause.
Okay. Hold on. Interceptor 2. I'm gonna send Interceptor 1. Unconscious Iron Man. Yeah, we did not.
That fits.
Yeah. Yeah, just gonna casually XCOM Iron Man. I'm gonna send XCOM or Interceptor 1 to keep an eye on it.
Oh, because it can lift up again?
Yeah. Presumably it landed at night. It will probably take off by morning.
Okay.
The problem is if we shoot it down over the ocean,
Gone.
gone.
Yeah.
But it's better than not shooting it down at all. And, interestingly enough, the degree to which it is light or dark matters.
Okay.
It's not just binary night or day.
No, I can see it shifting across the globe. Hitting those large terrain chunks.
Like, the level of detail in this game is actually quite fun. It allows you to make a lot of decisions. Some of those decisions aren't really meaningful, right? One trick is that before, you'll notice I was kneeling with my soldiers at end of turns
Yes.
because it lowers their profile and it makes their opportunity fire more accurate. One thing you can do is shoot the ground before you kneel, which will create a crater if you hit it with a powerful
Which will
enough
make
weapon.
your lower profile.
Exactly, it'll make you even lower. And that's just like... Yeah, you really want it to get as light as possible because right now you're so... Sectoids is suggested
Oh,
by
it's
the...
gone. There it goes.
Yeah, and you can see it's outpacing your interceptor. Unless it like turns around.
As it wanders aimlessly across the land.
I mean, we're only sitting right on top of it. So what we can do is follow it and then patrol over its base. And we might be able to either pick it up again, or if we loiter over its last known location, it either got away from us and got out of radar range, or it landed somewhere.
Right.
But doing a night mission right now is death. It's just death. The sectoids with their very large eyes have much better night vision than we do.
She got all those flares.
They really only mitigate.
Well, I'm gonna go refill a drink.
Okay, maybe we should take a quick break then.
Okay.
And we'll Iron Man this. I don't think that will have impacted our funding negatively at all.
No.
But we'll be back in 5 minutes, and then we'll continue on with our playthrough.
See you soon.
Hey, we're back. We just let more aliens slip through our fingers. But we'll see what happens. It's the 8th of January in the distant future of the year 1999. And we are leading brave XCOM as they attempt to defend, what was it, probably 5 billion humans at this point? From the uncertain intentions of our would-be alien overlords.
Alien menace.
So this game, in 1995, we would have been on what, XCOM Season 1? Or not
March
XCOM,
94.
X-Files.
Oh.
X-Files Season 1.
Maybe. I was young
Yeah.
at the time. Don't really remember what I was watching. Probably like Star Trek reruns.
Point being that this game was created by a pop culture that was kind of still quite interested in the idea of aliens visiting Earth. And the fact that aliens had crash landed in the 1940s at Roswell, New Mexico, and the United States government had hidden this from us.
It's Independence Day.
Experimenting on alien technologies that had been recovered from this crash site, which was responsible for all kinds of unknown and unknowable problems. And like super technology aircraft that could defeat radar.
Oh, radar, LiDAR, sonar.
And now we know that the American government could never conceal anything like that because that would be impossible. I mean, we've always known that, I suppose, that keeping a secret like that would be very difficult. But I think this is the waning days when people in large numbers thought it was even remotely possible.
Just considering people monitor the goings-on of a weather balloon, and they're just like, "Oh, this object." Like, just randos notice that, then no one's trying very hard to hide it.
Victor Skarov?
Hello.
Are you just Vladimir Skarov? Perhaps wearing a mustache?
Just a fake.
Yeah. Oh, Louis Dujardin. He's quite a strapping lad. Look
Oh,
at that.
damn, hefty.
40 strength.
I like him.
All right. I like the cut of all of these jibs.
They seem hearty and efficient.
So when we play this game, we kind of have to keep that in mind. That a lot of these aliens are based on. They're kind of a conglomeration of a lot of the pop culture aliens that we had been dealing with. Whether it's the shape of their ships, these flying saucers, whether it's their overall shape, right? Like the alien autopsy video was making the rounds at this point, which showed, the large-headed, large-eyed gray alien being autopsied by government scientists, or the reptilian snake men. And then I'm sure the other things that also happened.
But the aliens here are a lot less fantastical looking than the ones from Star Control, which is kind of still within the same fantasy sci-fi thing, but like Star Control feels a lot more like Hitchhiker's Guide influenced, whereas this is like purely American military.
Yeah, so for an international organization, XCOM is very like centered around American ideals of martial prowess.
Yeah.
We can now produce laser pistols. Well, we should do that then. Why don't we produce 10 of them to start with? And then we can stop producing them. Aha!
Aha! Hardcore.
Independence Day came out when? 1996? 95? Something around then?
Well, yeah, later in the decade, but yeah. 98, 96. People are guessing. But yeah, it was in the second half of the decade.
I'm gonna wait just a couple of more minutes for it to get lighter out. 1996?
So it would have been in production for 95, 94.
But this was all part of kind of our zeitgeist.
Yeah. It's also kind of got to compete with Starship Troopers.
Yeah, that was 97, 98?
That kind of...
I remember its advertising campaign featured Blur's song too.
Oh, dang. I bet.
But yeah, there was also the upcoming turn of the millennium.
Yeah. And
so-
Stargate.
Yeah, there were a lot of of these very apocalyptic or revelatory. I mean, apocalypse. The root word means revelation, right? The biblical revelation is the unveiling of things, right? Apocalypse is I think it's a Greek word meaning to reveal the contents of, right? Or to uncover your eyes, right? So a lot of these stories were about peeling things away from our eyes to see the universe as it really was.
Yeah, so it's more of a they live.
And yeah, literally, in the case of X-Files, being like a I want to believe the truth is out there.
Yeah. But you can't discover the truth if you look hard enough.
All right, I think we're gonna catch this one on the ground. Again, if we pull this off, we might be able to capture another intact alien reactor.
Ho ho ho.
And as a small mercy, it does give us, in order. Oh, I forget who. Was it Bernard? No.
No.
Who were our strapping?
The new Lewis is strapping.
Right.
I don't know if you put him on the ship, though.
I do not believe I did. An uncovering. There we go. Thank you, Nightbook. I've not seen the recent two seasons of X-Files. Oh, yes. I guess maybe it shares a root word with Eclipse.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Prime grenade.
Throw grenade.
End turn. Where are we? Not just like geography-wise, but where are we on the map? Okay, we're hard up against
A wall.
a corner. Good. Perfect. Perfect.
But there is all that open field there to the left.
Mm-hmm. And also this, this is not as dawn as I was expecting.
Mm.
I'm starting to remember the starburst formation for
Of
exiting.
unloading your...
Yeah, for unloading our mans. I think the autocannon doesn't actually hit that much harder than a rifle. But it just shoots so much more. Heavy cannon, I mean, so far has been one-hit kills on sectoids, which is very important.
Can't be wasting the good ammo on the tiny grays.
I mean, at this point in the game, your accuracy is relatively bad, so a somewhat less accurate weapon, not so disastrous.
You did describe throwing the smoke grenade down the ramp as a starting move earlier, but I think some people did miss it. And so, yes, what is done here is to probably save the entire team from getting just murdered coming down the ramp.
Mm-hmm. We have no idea what to expect when we lower that ramp. So one strategy, one tactic, I guess we're talking about tactics here.
It is.
Is to start the game with your lead soldier holding a smoke grenade so they don't waste time units pulling it out of their pocket. And you just prime it and throw it immediately.
Right, because you've got several different inventories on each person. Like, they've got their belt and their backpack.
Yes, and then they also have leg pockets
yeah.
and arm pockets. And they each have different time units required to access them. I think your backpack has the most storage, but it costs you the most to access.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that level of granularity, I'm not sure brings a whole lot to the game.
Doesn't make it fun.
That crater was there before.
It would have shown us anything that happened on screen within our eyesight.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to send one soldier into this corner to make sure that we don't have anyone...
Just creeping.
Yeah, because that can happen. And we should be facing sectoids here. Once again. Interestingly, there's a limited amount of time that our troops can spend in smoke. You'll notice that this pink bar here, which represents their stamina,
Okay.
I believe, has a little bit of white just beginning to show up. So, as you spend more time breathing smoke, your stamina drops.
Wow. I feel like that person's gonna die. Oh!
Okay.
Where is he? Oh, there he goes.
We can't see him over the fence.
Not too good, yeah. Still try. Rude.
All right. Blind shooting.
The aim shot at 79. Was it too many time units?
Well, we can get one of these off.
Yeah. What? Apparently not. Oh, there, yeah.
Try not to shoot our people in the back of
No.
the head.
No. So many times. Yeah. You've only got 17 time units. Cool.
Yes!
Now that one won't be taking pot shots as you maneuver across the field.
Oh, that was a... Yeah, from downtown. Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Wow. Aliens mean business. Oh, yeah. Yes. Just get it in there.
Oh, it missed.
It'll be fine.
Landed somewhat awkwardly.
Yeah. Just cocked it. Are you trying to get it behind a tree?
Yeah. Cover is so important. Ah!
Ah!
No! No!
Across
No!
the open zone. So that one in the corner means one alien has sight on you, or you have sight on one alien?
Sight on one alien.
You can do it.
Just get into cover.
Be as small as you can.
All that you can be in the XCOM army. I wonder if
Don't
we
have
can
to
make...
pay you if you're dead. Wow. Man, there's so many quality of life things that could be changed here.
Mm-hmm. Like, just the amount of information that it gives the player.
Like, just what's within walking range.
Yep.
Whoa. Whoa!
All right. Is that a Kobe or a Yeet?
He's just making it look easy.
Not only did the dead cost nothing, they cost negative money. I think that's a Kobe. All right.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeet's just exertion.
Mm.
It's equivalent to saying, like, power!
All right, that was the sound of a powered door opening.
Oh, good. We know the aliens have doors. Oh.
And the ability to blow away a stone wall with a single hit.
Yes. This time. That little tree isn't going to block your shot, is it?
Oh, probably.
Man can't throw what he can't see. Ugh. Yep.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Well, man has a grenade.
Prime
It's
grenade
fine.
in his hand.
Yeah. Whew. That seems safe.
Well, it did use up all its time units.
Another grenade. Just what we need.
29 time units, huh? 14 to throw?
Yeah. I'm just trying to get rid of that wall.
Yeah.
Uncover the enemy. Woof. Good. Yes. Go, grenade man.
Bernard!
Let your grenade child free.
Yeet!
Kelby. It was accurate.
Yeah, the RNG, I think, loves us here.
A little bit.
Which means we're in for doom.
Because we're going to get cocky and we're going to misplay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, more into the wheat. Oh. He sees a man.
More aliens.
No, that's a dead. That's
Are they in the
not-
cabbages?
No.
Oh! Oh, that's a heavy.
They're in the tiny green. Oh, you ducked soon enough. Snapshot. Ain't gonna do squat.
I mean, it might.
That's true. It might.
Just open up on them in full auto.
You might hit something else. If you're lucky. Ah, yes. Aiming.
We have heard of this. Oh no, it ricocheted off his heavy plasma gun.
Gross. If you have a big enough weapon, nothing can hit you directly. Yes. There we go. Yes.
Got it.
He made a sad noise. He fell over. Oh, he has a friend.
No! Yes.
He's gonna have to mow a lot more lawn than that. Who shall you send to see
Who has a little R by their name?
that one?
Henri!
And?
He made the sad trombone noise. So what
Yeah.
we're really looking for here is a plasma pistol on the ground.
Or just enemies we didn't notice before.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
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 Oh!
Hit the dirt!
Look at those two tall boys.
Aim at the one with the big gun.
It's trying. It's trying. Get it.
Luckily, I think sectoids are not great with plasma weapons. Or not great with heavy plasmas because I think their accuracy is
Their
generally
arms are
bad.
so feeble. Atrophied from so much time and space. Stupid bullet deflecting hedges.
Short controlled bursts, Petrov.
I never heard of her.
Now, will you be able to see them?
Yeah. It's the aliens you don't see that you gotta worry about.
No line of fire.
That means they can't see you.
It's true. Better change that. We're fine. This is fine. This is normal.
Yeah, you're doing great.
What? No, where are you going?
Over
oh my
there.
god.
Over there.
Smoke nades every day.
You plan to create some cover so your units can get out of that tall grass?
Yeah. That heavy plasma is very dangerous.
You can take out all that wheat.
I think, yeah, the alien might have run to try to close the distance, because it did highlight the smoke. But then again, that might just be... I forget how it does it. It might might pull back. Like, it will try to show you what's moving.
Yeah.
But if you can't draw line of sight to it, it might pull it back to the nearest point that you can draw line of sight at. Oh yeah, wheat burns like a motherfucker.
Only helps us if there's enemies to roast in the wheat.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's our dudes.
You can get incendiary ammo, though, which is really useful for fighting, I forget what they're called, but they're large, furry aliens. They're gritties. You can wind up fighting against gritties.
Ah!
Hose them down!
Put all the bullets in that direction.
Shark-controlled bursts.
Keep firing after they're dead. Don't worry. The body will absorb the bullets. How many more of them are there?
I'm gonna say one more. Yeah. Gritty is not a person. Gritty is an idea. And ideas
you can't
cannot
kill
be
an
killed.
idea, yeah.
Yeah, this is where we find out one of the aliens is just upstairs.
With the biggest gun we've never seen. Hello.
Okay, I'm going to start sending people because
Into the cabbages.
yeah, the battle. I forgot how channelized these battlefields can become as you start. Like the hedgerows, etc., become quite challenging.
Mm-hmm. And their ship is over there, so we've seen that now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see you.
You're putting them into the position to move next turn?
Yeah, it's tricky, right?
You have to keep as many of them as safe as possible for as long as possible.
Yeah, because they start to become quite valuable as they level up.
Mm-hmm.
Your kernels are very, very, very tough customers. But right now we're not above having to send rookies into more or less certain death.
So there's at least 2 enemies left.
I think this might just be one that's moving around a bunch. Let's see if we can...
Spot them.
Yeah.
I don't think there would be hidden movement if... Although maybe they were like... Always hidden movement.
I think as soon as they move out of line of sight, that's hidden movement.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Oh.
Fuck! That was a sergeant. Good work, assholes. Anyone see anything? No? Nobody? Good work.
There you go.
Oh,
Now that you're standing.
do I have to shoot everyone myself?
A lot of granularity in this game.
Yeah. Players love granularity. You're all worthless.
Nope.
That should do it.
Bigger bullets work.
No, no, no. There's still one more.
Yeah.
We're all going to die, Sergeant.
At least you got 1 sergeant left. Probably in the spacecraft.
Yeah, we could hear it moving around.
Okay. Is it gonna come out and take some pot shots? You
It
can open the door.
might. There are multiple interior doors in this kind of spacecraft. I think I'm just going to send one of my soldiers on a long Hail Mary run while we have multiple people to watch.
Yeah, I don't think the enemy's outside.
Yeah, there's only one exit from this kind of UFO.
And it's through a gun.
End run? End run is what I'm thinking of, apparently. A Hail Mary is a last-ditch throw. Right.
But I didn't disagree with you. It was just like, well, this has a chance.
Yep. I mean, eventually we're going to need to be aggressive here.
Be aggressive.
A Hail Mary is a yeet? Oh!
For sure, for sure. Whereas downtown is an end run.
Okay. So when someone comes from downtown,
They're throwing the ball from far away.
gotcha.
Oh! Yes!
Yes!
Well then,
Another one.
who else is here?
Yet another
Precious.
one.
Open the door, throw a grenade. I don't know.
Now, you'll notice that when our soldiers miss, those bullets go someplace.
And often they go into our other soldiers.
Yes. So a miss is a very dangerous thing in this game.
Gotta watch your lines.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that alien was like, oh, I heard noise at the front door. Maybe someone is there.
This might be the worst positioning ever, but I can't be certain.
We'll find out.
Yeah, XCOM gonna give it to you. Does anyone have a link to that, actually?
YOLO!
It was
Now you get
a
to
remix of the XCOM Enemy Unknown theme with XCOM Give It To You.
leapfrog your characters.
There we go. Zyme has it, I think.
Alright. Let's hope that alien just wanders through that door. And isn't in a nearby building.
That would be embarrassing. Now, if I remember correctly, there's some weird lines of sight through these UFOs.
Yes. I think you are correct.
For example, I can no longer navigate that.
Hey guys, what's up?
Perfect.
Thought I'd just come back here and check on you. Did anyone bring any snacks?
Well done, Henri. Don't worry, every pair of pants in XCOM is brown.
Such a wide stance.
That stance.
You know, another turn to open doors? Alright.
I will start bringing these boys around.
Why don't you investigate the building that you blew up?
That seems like a lot of work.
Well,
Especially
they're
it's-
not gonna make it in there to help.
I mean, they might, if everyone else dies.
It's like 5 dudes in there.
I mean, I'm sure the alien has more than 5 bullets. Ooh, yeah, that's right. If we throw a grenade in there, then the reactor might cook off.
Yeah, no, you don't want to damage the spaceship.
No, that's honestly quite valuable. Yeah, we breached the door just fine. That means the alien is probably over here.
Ah! Knock, knock. I think you could auto him. Yeah. Dang straight. Good!
Okay. Okay.
Sergeants are worth 2 more points than rookies.
Apparently. Okay, well, we got another power source, another 2 navigation computers.
We are rolling in Illyrium.
Yup.
Hey, Captain.
Ooh.
Hans Vogel.
Okay, so what do we take away from this at this point?
That RNG loves you,
Yeah.
and game easy.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, we are only playing on like the 3rd highest difficulty. Ooh, our stores. Our stores are very full. So we should probably start selling stuff.
Sack it.
Additional cannons we can get rid of.
Don't need ammo for things you don't have.
Yep. Like pistols? Ugh. Auto cannons? No.
Thane's asking if you should spend all your experience on one squad of your best people or spread it around a bit.
Generally in early game I like to try to power level a squad to act as an experienced core of soldiers. And then later on you can start dropping in rookies.
Yeah.
Because they will also get power leveled by their neighbors. Although it does get difficult for rookies to acquire experience later in the game because your squad of He-Man will
murder
everything and they won't even
Rookies won't even be able to
off.
fire a shot. Yeah.
From what I remember, we only need 1 sectoid corpse ever. The rest just take up space. I'm sure we can sell them to people for completely legitimate purposes.
Not good eats. It only takes 2 of them to buy a person.
Oh wow, we must have gotten a commander. We have mind probes. But yeah, look at all of this. Heavy plasma, plasma rifles, plasma pistols. We're getting there. We're getting there. So that did not open up our stores at all.
Didn't really use our interceptors. Maybe we just wait
Yeah,
till
well
our next fight.
we have 1 more day until our general's... Okay, good. We need 2 more avalanche launchers and probably 10 more missiles.
For the other interceptor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see, they each take 3. So
But they
we
have
need
2
6.
slots for guns.
We'll get 18. It's incredibly fiddly. I don't know why you have to individually order ammunition.
And that there's, like, delivery times to deal with.
See, a lot of this could be abstracted away. I think a lot of this is just unnecessary bookkeeping. And the new game does streamline a lot of this. So who are our high strength, high bravery people? Hans Vogel is definitely getting up
He's our
there.
captain, yeah.
Louis Dujardin.
Yeah.
So we'll give Louis and Hans our heavy weapons.
Okay.
Oh, and Victor. Victor can actually carry one much more effectively. So Victor and Louis will be put on the Sky Ranger. And then we'll pull off one of our sergeants.
Bernard, yeah.
Yeah, just so that we have a little bit of depth in our roster if we run into disaster.
Right, so it doesn't take you as much time to build up the next team if you run into an emergency.
And then I'm just going to order another soldier so that we consistently have 4 in the barracks back home.
To replace the one that got shotted. near that shrubbery.
We will not be naming soldiers on this. This is one day worth of this is one stream worth of XCOM. It's not really worth naming our soldiers here.
Might also be time to take a break again.
Yeah, let's take another quick break, and we'll be back in 3 to 5 minutes, probably.
All right.
All right.
See you again shortly.
Hey, welcome back. We are going to enter the last hour of our XCOM talking simulator here, the original XCOM. And I suppose you might all be getting kind of... oh, God, Morty. Anyway,
Great segue.
I wanted to talk about... hey, kids, I want to rap to you about Frederick Jameson and the postmodern, and especially the nostalgia mode. I assume you all are getting sick of hearing about this, but this is usually my touchstone for when I come back to revisit older games, especially games from my childhood and early adolescence. Frederick Jameson, in his book, in his work, Postmodernism, talks a bit about what the nostalgia mode is, and he specifically talks a bit about Star Wars.
It's fitting.
And its relationship to, like, Flash Gordon.
Yep.
And Buck Rogers.
Right.
Right? And that nostalgia is this thing that reaches into an imagined past. Right? Or a fantabulous past. So that's something I try to keep in mind when I revisit these games. Like, what about them is actually enjoyable, and what about them is enjoyable because it reminds me of how I felt when I was young.
Yes.
Because I liked being young. It was nice. I wasn't decrepit yet.
Yeah, and there's certain things that you can do when you're younger. Like, right now, would this game value my time? And it's not something I asked then. Like, I could just throw time at a game and get really deep into it.
Yeah, but now when we talk about the way a game values our time, right, that's quite important to a lot of us.
Yes.
I've heard that a lot in relationship to Destiny 2, and the way that game does or frequently does not respect its players' time.
Yes.
And what we mean when we talk about that is the effort you put into a game reflected in progress, or not even in progress, but is it just kind of swallowing the effort that you put into it?
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to take like a very sober look at this, because this reminds me of being, a kid and having a lot of spare time and hanging out with friends after school. And, in those days there were no cell phones, and there was no, we were aware of all kinds of problems in the world, but they were distant and far away, and I felt safe in my parents' home instead of being, constantly crowded by anxiety and dread. So that all felt really nice, right? The Cold War was over. We beat the Russians. They were going to be our friends soon, if weren't already. And we were headed towards an era of unchecked peace and prosperity led by Bill Clinton, I guess.
Yeah. Your options there are Bill Clinton or Bush.
Yeah. So, and the X-Files offered us something to feel kind of worried about, because that was actually novel. Mm-hmm. Right? The enormous dread of the Cold War had been lifted from us. And suddenly we were free to worry about meaningless bullshit, like, were the Americans actually experimenting on aliens? That would be pretty fucked up.
Are aliens going to come and murder us because something the Americans did?
Mm-hmm. Here we are. And I do enjoy some elements of the granularity in this game, but it does feel like a game that has not had the benefit of 30 years of extreme evolutionary pressure towards streamlining.
I look at this screen and I'm like, there would be a paper book that I could refer to.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yeah, like we would have a manual. This game came with a manual.
And you would have potentially looked at and referred to the manual to find out how to play the game. Because this game does not help you.
No. I mean, because, like, now we would have tooltips. You would hover over things,
Be
right?
like, what the heck is Equipcraft?
But this would all be printed in a book. As Inquisitor Frollo says, a 142-page book.
Yep.
Which is available online now. But I remember they came with books, and that was really satisfying because you would put them in your backpack and you would take them to high school and you'd read them at recess.
Compare them with your friends, yeah.
Yeah, and they would get full of sand, and then somebody would spill their yogurt on it, and it would be ruined. And then you would have to have a fist fight because you would all had been exposed to toxic levels of lead paint in your childhood, and you all had brain problems because of it, presumably. Maybe that was just me.
Lead paint in your yogurt.
Yeah, it made it bright yellow. Where am I going with this? Why does this matter? What is the so what of this?
Yeah, like you wanted to compare like how this game holds up, and especially versus it being a working franchise at this moment. It's like 25 years later, this is still an active franchise.
Yeah. So this game, like XCOM, I think it had one sequel, Terror from the Deep, several in like 1996, the year afterwards, essentially, because Terror from the Deep was this game, but what if it was underwater and we just tile swapped all the aliens and made the terror missions worse? It like there more work went into it than that, but it definitely felt like what we would now consider to be an expansion pack or a DLC of some kind.
As opposed to a full sequel.
2 or 3 years later, we got XCOM Apocalypse, which was a much sequel-ier sequel. It had real-time play, or the option of real-time tactical play. It took place in one megacity that was the last surviving human city after the aliens just kicked the living shit out of you. And it featured somewhat X-Files-like play, where you would hear reports of alien activity, and you would have to send... Yeah, you would go investigate. And I think what the game wanted you to do was to send one agent on like a motorbike, right, or in a small car to investigate, reports of things, and they would show up and have to look around, and they would call for backup. But what would really happen, because there were no consequences to it, is you would just kick down the door with a tank, and 12 XCOM agents would roll in if somebody said somebody had unusually large eyes, and then you would just hose it all down with your vaguely Tommy gun-shaped laser guns.
Right.
Because it had a 1920s
20s aesthetic?
Yeah, 1920s, 30s, 40s aesthetic, right? Lots of fins on your tanks. Again, the nostalgia mode of Buck Rogers.
Yep.
And then there were several other attempts to make sequels for the game in order to keep the franchise alive. There was a TIE Fighter clone, basically, where you were piloting around interceptors in space.
Yeah, XCOM Interceptor, right?
Yes, naturally enough. And I want to say there was a first-person one. There was more recently, developed almost concurrently with the current generation of XCOM games, there was a first-person shooter.
Yes, I remember.
Where everyone was wearing kind of like, again, 1940s kind of investigative wear.
I think that was in development at the same time as there was a Syndicate remake that was also an FPS, and people were like, why are you making FPSs of XCOM and Syndicate?
But then the game went into dormancy, or the franchise went into dormancy, because Microprose ended. It was a very successful game studio, but things end. And it got reincarnated in Firaxis, and Firaxis started making XCOM games again. And they decided to pick up what worked here and tried to discard a lot of what they felt didn't work.
Yep.
With the benefit of 30 years of game development experience, or 20 years, let's say. of game development experience. And some of what they discarded, I missed. A lot of community members missed. The original developers for this game, the Gollop brothers, made their own game, which was released recently, which felt very much like a graphically updated version of this, with a lot of the granularity that the newer XCOM games had dispensed with, reinstated or integrated. But a lot of this, I think, isn't interesting decision making. I don't find restocking ammunition
Yeah.
to be an interesting decision making tree.
No.
Because it feels largely artificial. If you decide to abstract that away, then the hardship of, maybe you have a lean month, or maybe you have a bad month, or a bad couple of missions, can be reflected in the game in other ways. But like the fiddliness of trying to micromanage how many bullets you have in storage, it doesn't strike me as
No,
particularly
it's-
interesting.
It's garbage.
And like the things like the cover system, I think are kind of neat, actually, going back and looking at them. Because Virgil, all right
Hello,
then.
Virgil.
It adds something. I think that would be kind of neat to see.
It makes it feel more
reflected.
tactical.
Yeah, and maybe that's stupid. Maybe that doesn't actually need to be there, and maybe the new generation's system of half cover and full cover is kind of really what you're looking for, because maybe these like 2 or 3 or 5% differences in cover don't actually matter.
No, like once I don't know if like human brains are meant to look at probabilities that way, like that granular.
Yeah.
Because it's like you go from like I don't know, 25% blocks I think is about what we can do. You'd be like, oh, 25 is bad. 50 is kind of
Okay.
good.
Yeah,
and
50
75 is amazing. Look
Yeah,
at that.
50 hits all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I remember that from my tabletop days of playing, like, Warhammer 40k, where a 4+ invulnerable save, that's perfect.
Right.
That's going to land all the time. Mm-hmm. And your brain is like, yeah, that's totally how that works. And you're like, yeah, brain. So, maybe that granularity isn't that important. But what I do miss a lot, and I agree with Inquisitor Frollo here, is the tactical game, I feel, got much more shallow in the new version of games compared to this, just because of the way that the gameplay is structured. As I mentioned, in this game, it generates the map, it populates the map with enemies, and those enemies have AI that is active
Yeah.
and malicious or
Yeah,
malevolent.
whether you're looking at them or not, and
Yeah.
if you spend enough time not interacting with enemies that are active, they will come looking for you.
So this game rewards and encourages you to spread out, scout the map, engage with enemies on your own terms, find advantageous positions, secure them, like make your own cover. I suppose the stages are locate good battlefields, aggressively move to secure those battlefields, and engage the enemy from those positions.
From like an advantage spot.
Whereas in the new generation of games, you have to very carefully expand outwards from your starting point.
Yeah.
Because you have encounters that will be initiated.
Yes. Spreading out will mean there are more enemies to deal with at a time.
Whereas if you aren't spread out, then those encounters simply don't occur until you go looking for them. And I found that less engaging, less challenging, or less interesting at least.
I also like the micromanaging of the inventory for the characters that you're sending out. Like, in the newer XCOMs, you can change your loadout, but there's like a class system that people get bonuses to specific things. And it's like you got a slot for a main weapon and like some extras like med packs.
Can I just point out the kerning here?
I hate it.
What is going on here? I
Yes.
guess it's justified left.
It is.
And ooh, yeah.
There's no reason for that.
I'd like to put a note in Jira. This isn't a bug. This is really more. It's not a feature request.
Feedback, you know?
Yeah.
Well, partly the problem is they're not using a monospace font, and so the 1 isn't as thick as another digit. But because it's a clock, you're not gonna run into a lot. I think it's 24-hour time? Yeah. So you might run into a 2, and then so it's using the max space that a 2's footprint would make up.
Mm-hmm. This is something that a UX designer would
pull their hair out about.
Yeah.
Someone probably almost got stabbed over this as it is. Like, you would think that people then wouldn't notice, but they did this for a reason.
I enjoy this though. In the current generation of XCOM games, you have what is called the anthill version of your base,
Yeah.
where you are looking at like a cross section of of XCOM HQ, and one of the things happening in that cross section is that there is a globe spinning in your command center.
Yeah.
I don't know what I like more. This is
In the newer XCOMs, you don't have to send out interceptors.
no, you that's right, you don't.
You don't. You just
No,
like
wait, you do. You in
kinda.
XCOM Enemy Unknown, you do have the mini game where you send out the things and then you watch it happen.
It's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same as like you sitting here watching the globe just in case something happens, and you watching the day-night cycle as it turns.
Mm-hmm. This does give you an interesting bit of physicality, which I think is useful. Sitting here watching the globe and worrying about it, I kind of like that. Watching your base makes you feel, I think, more connected to your organization, whereas this makes you feel a bit more responsible for
Space.
For the
like
world.
the surface area.
which, yeah, I'd never really thought about that before. But peevishly worrying about a globe, I think, is a different experience than peevishly worrying about an experience. Or an organization. Neat. All right, well... Now, base information. We have more space for scientists and engineers. So, I'm going to order more scientists and more engineers.
Because we have more space for those.
And that'll probably be all we can roughly afford for the month. Small, very low, heading east, speed 110. We might not be able to catch this one.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah? I mean, I don't know what that speed actually means in relationship to what our interceptors can manage. Is that over water? We want to... We want to make certain it's over land.
There it goes. It'll be over land in a second.
Yeah, there we go. Engage!
Oh, zipped away.
No.
It's going faster than us. Now that we've caught it, we're gonna lose it.
Okay, game. Yo!
No, it's
Yo!
Animating. Back out. Zoom. Oh. Hello.
It decided to turn.
Yeah. Now it's ours. Wow.
Alright, well, let's save our game here.
Game easy.
Okay. Just to refresh my memory, was it Louis
Yeah.
and Victor who we want to give the heavy weapons
I think
to?
so. Or Samuel, but I don't remember. Yes, Victor.
Okay.
just the fact that you can't go from any screen that lists a character's name to their loadout is frustrating.
It's
just like, that's some UX right there.
Yeah, it would be really nice to have... well, soldiers don't have loadouts in this. You load equipment onto their transport, and the soldiers pick it up largely at random. So that would be some design notes I would have. Tetsuo, you carry... Okay, Louis, you're going to need space for your heavy weapon.
Yeah, because that belt of ammo takes space.
Mm-hmm. Sumi, you get a rifle. Because you are not beefy like Victor and Louis.
You gotta make some gains, Sumie.
Ah, fuck me. This is real bad. I didn't realize that it was going to be this dark when we landed.
Whew. Yeah, hidden movement.
Where are we? Okay, we're in the bottom left corner of the map. Our visibility on this is going to be garbage.
Whereas the sectoids can see us. 'Cause they have large eyes.
We're going to need to get up close and personal with them. Yeah, they have
Ooh.
space eyes.
At least there's a wall there.
Yep.
One
Hopeful-
window.
Yeah. That could be a problem because there could be monsters in it.
You could also throw a grenade through.
We could. Yeah, we could reload and equip flares, but that would involve loading a game.
Mm-hmm.
And XCOM is about nothing but the emergent play of the Iron Man rules.
We're in it now.
Is XCOM one of the original games that people enjoyed in Iron Man mode? Iron Man here is reference to a self-imposed set of rules in which a player does not reload saves. They use saves for leaving the game when you need to stop playing, but you do not use saves to reload from fail states.
Yeah. Like, mainframe games and roguelikes existed at this point. So those are more the original Iron Man. Permadeath, like dungeon crawls.
One interesting thing in this, or one useful thing to notice in this game, is that aliens do not close doors behind them.
Good.
So if you see a lot of open doors...
You know.
That can only be caused by aliens. And, I mean, I suppose I should be specific. When I say Iron Man, I mean...
The
in opposition,
self-imposed rules.
the specifically self-imposed rule set.
Yeah, but you're up against games that are... Any strategic game up to this point could be treated that way.
Monster!
Kill it! With a gun! I'm trying to think. Might and Magic? What am I thinking of?
Heroes of Might and Magic?
Ultima?
Ooh.
Right? That's got kind of an Iron Man option. Rude. I do really like the UI on the new stuff where it's just like, hey, you can throw a grenade over here and there's this radius of explosion. Not this, can I throw here? Can I
Nope.
throw here? Can I throw here?
Yeah, many concessions have been made to playability in the new game. right? Giving us a
Ooh.
uh-oh.
Farley F, we're not likely to do a talking sim on the UFO trilogy. I think we've got some games set up for the future already.
I think next week we're going to do XCOM 2.
So that's pretty much a leap. And that's going from like the revitalization of the franchise up to them needing to introduce new mechanics to like freshen it up. So it's quite different from this.
I don't think I've ever played XCOM 2 on Talking Simulator.
Yeah. I know that I've played it alone at home, but not on stream.
And it would be the Firaxis XCOM 2, not
Yes,
the Microprose
yes.
one. The Microprose one is not notably different from this.
No. Whereas 20 years of advancement.
Yeah, we're going from the original to the latest.
The most recent, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this
We
I
didn't
love.
prime that grenade, did we?
I don't believe so.
Well, I guess we're going to find out. So you can see here that open door. That was probably that alien? Probably.
Probably not a different alien.
Probably.
Don't really know what I can learn of the alien threat from their behavior. Like, there's no people here. So we don't really get to see what their goal is.
It starts to emerge later on when there are, I forget what the class of ship is called, but there are alien ships that have like medical bays in them, and you will investigate them and find like dissected cows undergoing surgery.
Okay.
You will interrogate live aliens that you find, and you can like interrogate various different classes.
Yeah.
So you can capture like sectoid soldiers or sectoid navigators or engineers.
And they kept that for the newer ones.
Well,
Where you kind of, like, you gain resources from them. You gain technology from the different classes of alien.
but I did enjoy things like finding out that you need to capture a sectoid commander. And that's largely all the information you're given on it. You need to find a commander. You need to find someone up their command structure. And that's all you're told,
Yeah.
right? So you have to kind of figure out, like, where would we find a sectoid commander? And you find them in large UFOs, typically in the command section of the UFO.
Yeah.
Right? So presumably the final alien that we encounter, the one that's wandering around inside the UFO, might be the commander.
Yeah, yeah. And this is definitely counting on, like, the pre-internet. Like, you have to discover this stuff for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, like, formulate an idea of what to expect.
Right. So you have to kind of like have a sense, like an intuitive sense that the game is fundamentally playing fair with you.
Yeah, it
Right.
wants to communicate some things to you, and you have to be there to get it.
So yeah. In order for that to work, there does have to be a certain element of trust in the game between players and developers, right? If they say, find this thing, we all have to agree that that will be all the information we need to pull that off. But you will discover facilities inside larger UFOs like alien entertainment, right? You'll discover surgery bays, and if you can recover them intact, you can research them and learn a bit about what the alien motives are.
But it's more like the Destiny Grimoire cards than it is like a tutorial. It's like there's inference you have to make
Yeah,
as a player.
there's context being offered.
Oh,
I don't know if I like this engagement.
can you move past it, do you think? Can you move back in the door you came from? Or, yeah, you're just gonna go closer?
I'm going to move in such a way.
Oh, that you're a roof person?
Yeah.
Gonna have a shot at that alien?
They might not have one this turn, but they should be able to protect my other soldier.
Yeah. Oh, and right down the line there. Maybe.
Uh-oh.
Close. Should be fine.
I mean, we have a lot of cover,
Yeah.
but that's still a throw of the dice. Right?
Again, those probabilities are so vague.
The fact that they're generated before you know what you're shooting at is... I guess it's just a generic amount to hit, right? Modified presumably by what you're shooting at, but the game also doesn't really tell you that.
It's just like visibility. Like, it calculates the visibility. Right.
Sure.
Yeah. It's basically 50-50. He's bad.
Yep.
Bad at shoot. Bad at life.
3 aim shots should do, or 3 snapshots should do this.
Yeah. Let's see at the corner of that roof, though. Get a lot of line of sight there.
Including line of sight into the alien ship. Before I round this corner, I want to know that I will have some form of support for this guy. That was probably reckless.
Yeah. It's like you don't want to wait for the turn cycle to come over. You want to like gain as much as you can per turn.
Like, another thing, we don't know who we lost, right? You kind of have to go through and figure it out by process of of
Names.
yeah, elimination. Who just died, right? If you don't have a sense for what happened.
Like the person arrows to the left of the ladder arrows cycle through your whole squad, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do, but
Again, you have to know them by name and know their stats and know their loadout.
mm-hmm. It would be nice to have like some kind of thing saying this person just died, and you're like, oh right, that was
The newer
a
ones
sergeant.
give you like specialized abilities, so you can kind of see who's selected at a time.
Yeah.
Be like, aha, this one has a shotgun, this one has a heavy weapon. Whereas in this, you can't. Like, you get a sense of what they've got equipped, but it's not the same. They all have the same kind of visibility, and they're auto into Overwatch. And you don't know their ranges, and you don't know other than what they can see.
Mm-hmm. You don't really get a sense of how far they can move.
Yeah. There's a lot of vagaries.
Mm-hmm.
That just make the game harder.
Yeah, without really increasing challenge.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, the challenge here is a lot of what information you're not given. Like, you don't know the enemy positions, so you have to find that. But you also don't know, like, how big the map is.
mm-hmm.
How much hunting are you going to need to do?
Well, and just the things that, like, information that is not communicated to you is like, the capabilities of your soldiers.
Mm-hmm. Can you even tell their, like, rank from looking at their name?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
you
they
get...
have bars?
Yeah, so this is a sergeant. You know, we have rookies, squaddies, but this is, again, something you need to recognize. Although I do love, in the explosion animation, the explosions themselves are shaped like skulls. Which is, you know, fun.
Death.
Yeah. So we've only heard aliens moving around inside the ship.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard a lot of doors hissing open and closed.
It's a good thing they have windows.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we can't see through the windows, but they can.
Yeah.
These doors are closed.
But them being in a limited space helps with the low light conditions.
Mhm.
Like, they're not just across the field waiting to snipe you.
I forget the degree to which low light conditions hamper the aliens as well, but it does have an effect. It's just not symmetrical with what you experience.
Yeah, like the game is already stacked against you.
Mm-hmm.
So giving you a handicap is not helpful. Whew. Ouch.
Oh, there goes our captain.
He found the best one. By chance.
Yep.
Just like, oh, open the door? There's a man here? Kill him. Really? Not enough time to shoot? I guess just not enough time to take aim.
Hmm.
But your other one should be able to come in there and do some murders.
Yeah.
Yes! No one else needs to die right now.
That was sloppy on my part, I feel.
It's like, there's no difference between when you need to, like, charge in and spread out versus when you need to, like, duck and cover.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, an enemy could just walk out the door. Where's the door?
Out of curiosity. Oh, they had a reactor failure. So you can actually chuck grenades through this.
Through that hole?
Yeah. Which is fun.
But then you have to balance the cost of grenades
Hmm.
in your head.
Is this everyone? Have we lost? We have lost 2 people.
We lost 2 people.
That's rough.
Mm-hmm.
Just sneaky peek around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
No aliens here.
Just hope one of them comes through that door next turn.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's unlikely considering the windows. They were like,
What?
oh?
Huh? And you're just like, a tiny gray child just ran through. Did
They're
you
like-
not see? Which way did he go? And they're like,
Yeah, it was
What do you
freaky.
mean?
That was weird. Did anyone else see that?
nope.
Like, you were supposed... When his head comes around the corner, hit it with the rock!
That's right. Stick your giant juicy face up to the window. He went in again!
My way doesn't seem very sporting.
Just, I feel like he's peeking out, going back in the door. He's just like, oh,
They're still
Mans.
there.
yeah. And you're like, I saw nothing.
Oh,
Nothing
you want to see
happened.
something great? Fun detail. Blah!
Oh, you found a boy on the ground. You could just nestle that into your backpack.
Yeah, just wrestle him right in there. That is something that you can do.
Just put an insectoid
Yeah,
into
you
your.
can grab it and put it in the backpack, and then run back to the drop ship,
Huh.
and then leave. Yeah, that's brutal.
Ouch.
Ratings. Okay.
Ugh.
Not enough equipment to fully re-equip squad.
Gotta
Oh, I
buy
guess
more
we're out of
bullets.
grenades. Yeah, we have to buy more grenades and bullets. Because every ammunition clip loaded into a weapon is discarded at the end of the mission.
It's like, oh, it's infected.
Yep.
It's covered in cooties from aliens. This bullet saw an alien, now it's infected.
Yep. Disgusting.
Disgusting. Can't trust it. Don't trust anything that's seen an alien.
How's that research coming along? Poorly, huh?
Gross. What are you scientists even doing here? Men have lost their lives! In these farmlands. In Russia.
Oh, fuck me.
Ooh.
Well, chat. We made it.
No, not wounded. Took an arrow to the knee. It's fine.
How did he become wounded?
Shot.
Well, I guess.
Bullet. Plasma. Plasma burn. To the orbital sockets.
Yep. Oh, we have laser pistols.
Yeah, we
That's
do.
exciting.
Yeah, we do. Pew pew. Now we are the ones who are the captain. With our laser bullets. So, what is happening in Ankara?
It is a terror attack. So we're gonna send our Sky Ranger to a waypoint just outside of Ankara.
Mm-hmm.
and we will have it wait there until the sun comes up, in which case we will then send in our brave XCOM operatives to try to defend the city. But right now, aliens are attacking Ankara, and they are just there to kill people and blow up buildings and otherwise cause devastation.
Okay.
And what happens if they do that successfully, once we either begin the mission, okay, if we just ignore this, that's very bad for XCOM, because all of these countries are responsible for funding us. And at the end of the month, all the countries decide what kind of job we have done protecting them and adjust their funding accordingly. So if we don't do a good job, i.e. if a lot of UFOs escape, if UFOs touch down and leave again, if UFOs attack cities and are unchallenged, they don't really see the point of paying us to do something, and we will lose funding nations. Similarly, if once the mission begins, aliens will start shooting civilians. If many civilians are killed while XCOM is present, that also doesn't look so good for us. The optics aren't great.
But we're only one man.
There's 9 of us. Don't you have an army? We're actually not any better equipped than your actual army or police forces
We're a
at this
country.
point. I mean, Turkey is a member of NATO. Don't you have tanks?
And dudes?
Yeah, don't worry. We'll get to the end of this terror mission right quick. So we're going to wait for the sun to come up, because otherwise we don't stand much of a chance.
Otherwise, you're just hunting for fish in a barrel.
Well, you are fish in a barrel, walking around going, anyone want to blast me? Like, you show up in a very convenient barrel-shaped craft.
Ah, here comes the sun. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Oh, alien containment at XCOM Europe is complete. We can
Nice.
start taking prisoners.
Heh.
Yeah, we usually have... Terror attacks can last quite long. So we need the sun to come up on Ankara.
Today. Please, if it could. As the sun sweeps across the land, dawning a new day. We wait to strike.
So this will be a fun note to go, pave
Go out
this
on?
game to. A terror attack in the first month. Rude.
It's only the 19th day of the XCOM.
Uh-oh.
Ready?
It's gone.
It left?
It left. Welp! All right. There we
goes our
go.
funding.
Yep. Don't worry. I'm sure the Turks are just as cool as the underside of a pillow about this. They got our backs. NATO is just gonna be like, yeah, no, we understand.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to more XCOM.
That must mean the civilians won.
This game really does lend itself to a narrative. Basically, we can end the day. saying,
Yeah, well, I guess we can
won
just-
XCOM. We
Yeah,
totally
absolutely.
made it through.
Yeah, we
The world is safe.
success. Well, thank you for joining us for Talking Sim tonight.
Yeah,
We should thank subs.
we can check those out.
Yeah. So Xanto69 gave us 50 bits saying, Cam, that keeps happening. You know that, right? And that was time passing.
And Wither was like, unknown context. Commander, report for duty after a 46-month resub.
Huh, duty. Jorge 4HG resub for the 7th month, saying, "Woo, Cameron and Corey."
This is the girl sub for 17 months. Live TV, white Bronco speeding to his dreams. It's funny how you fall. Money and law, freedom of speech.
Ah, the 90s. Ferocious Peach resub for the 26th month, saying, "And then there's the way the radars work. 25 days until you sell that useless small radar array." Yep.
Oh,
We didn't even get into the radar arrays.
Yeah, Lizardman175 sub for 18 months.
Demigod Chaos resub for the 10th month.
And we got 50 bits from Zed to 69. Cam, good news! So far, you are shooting with 100% accuracy.
We actually didn't do too badly in there. Demon Pups resub for the 17th month, saying, "Hoi."
Blood and Bullets sub for 17 months. There's definitely no alien bases in New Zealand. Don't even worry about it. Also, yay, more XCam.
Drunk Owl has gifted 5 subs to Doodles the Great, A Little Aloof, John Dare, Asimek, and Jube is a Samurai 44-4.
Nice. We got Plummeting Sloth subscribing for 64 months. Ah, right, this thing. Keep her going.
Oatway sub for the 6th month, saying, "Oh, hey, XCOM, sweet."
Mr. Fix-It, 59 months. Attack of the Space Gritties. Kappa.
CJ Caesar resub for the 10th month, or is it CJ Kaiser? I was told that Latin does the hard C's.
Count Zero 17 months. Used my Bezos bucks on ADDGQ. I'm renewing with my own money this time. Thank you.
Ken Domo is a brand new subscriber. Thank you for deciding to support the channel.
Whereas Cranston Snort has been here for 15 months.
Prince Nimzar is celebrating their 1-year anniversary. 1 year of Bezos' money for Lur.
And we got 50 more bits from E-Block. Hey, we beat XCOM. Love you, Cameron and Corey. Thank you.
So we will be back next week with XCOM 2, the newest XCOM.
The newest of XCOMs.
Which I think came out, 2-3 years ago now?
2.
2?
Please only
3?
be 2.
Maybe something like 2015, 2016, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. It came out in the distant past of it's now the year 2045.
But in the year 2020, 2525, is man
If
still
man's
alive?
still alive, if woman can survive, they will find. In the year 3535. That song rules, by the way.
That song is very good.
Okay, everyone, go listen to in
the year 2525.
And then go and watch Alien 3.
Yeah.
Because one of the prisoners is just straight
He's,
up singing.
In some pipes, and he's like, I don't know,
Scraping
mining or scraping with a broom.
Yeah.
And he's like singing in the year 2525, and it's so appropriate.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, anyways. Thank you all for hanging out.
Also, the Project Pitchfork cover is, if you like the 90s aesthetic that was going on in XCOM, go listen to the Project Pitchfork cover of In the Year 2525.
If you can find any better versions, please share them with us.
I feel that's an appropriate note to go out on. Programming will resume tomorrow at early in the morning, I think. Wednesday morning is the Magic stream.
Yeah.
With Graham and James playing Magic over at twitch.tv/
us.
Yeah, we'll host it. And then going into the afternoon with is tomorrow a Let's Nope or a
watch and play?
A watch and play.
Well, I can check the where is it? Give me oh, if we are on booth view, then I can see the upcoming Lur streams. Otherwise we have to go to commercial. Magic.
Ooh.
Watch and play.
Ooh.
AFK
in the evening. And
James
then
Chance on Thursday. Yeah.
All right. So everyone take care of each other, and we'll catch you in the future.
Ciao.
Peace.